Thank you. Wow. And thank you all for being here from all over the world, I believe. So here is to us. And what I love about this section is how Lucy's work led into Sam's, which leads into mine. And we're going to start by just shifting the energy, changing the energy right now. And I invite you to close your eyes if you wish, but just gently place your hand on your upper chest and one on your belly. And breathe. Breathing out through your mouth, breathing in through your nose, just feeling your breath connection. If you're feeling a little bit tired and you want to wake your body up, you can breathe in through a really tight pursed mouth and breathe in, and that sends energy into your body and wakes your body up. If your brain's feeling a little bit sluggish, do a short, sharp breath in through your nose. And somehow or other that seems to send the oxygen straight to your brain. Lovely. And then just hum. Any note, any tone, doesn't matter where, just hum. And play with that hum. And as you're humming, I want you to feel where in your body you feel the vibration physically. Do you feel it in your chest? Are you feeling, is your nose tingling? Are your lips tickling and making you want to laugh? It doesn't matter where you're feeling the vibration. But this is my introduction to the concept that your voice is vibration. Your voice is a reflection of every experience or emotion that you have ever had, imagined, or witnessed. So if you were feeling like there were blocks, or you didn't want to hear your voice, or there was physical tension happening, this is quite likely because your voice isn't having the space that it needs to actually create vibrations so that you can physically share your voice. So your emotions, your experiences get held, as we know, in your subconscious brain, in your body. And we've all had a life, and it doesn't matter what kind of life you have had. When I first trained as a coach and I was going to events like this, I had massive imposter syndrome because I was like, well, I haven't been raped. I haven't been homeless. I'm not a drug addict. Oh no, who am I to be here? Like, who am I to speak? Because I haven't like lived in dire straits, and everyone else has had all these incredible, powerful, horrible, traumatic experiences. And I'm just a middle-class girl from Surrey who have ponies in the back garden. And yeah, I had a dad who drank too much, and sometimes he wouldn't know what kind of drunk he was when he got home. And, you know, mum spent a lot of time in tears because he had a lot of affairs. But, you know, God, my stuff's nothing. We all have our own different types of imposter syndrome, and your voice will reflect that as well as anything else you've ever been through. So the first thing I want to share with you is this, is it doesn't actually matter. And, you know, there are people we've heard today, you know, Marlise's story, for example. I've heard Marlise speak before, and she's wonderful and beautiful. And you know, she's been through so much. So many of you have been through so much. But for those of you who may be here, who may be being the me a few years ago when I started going to events like this and going, oh, well, my life's not been that awful, so now I feel a bit bad about, you know, having trauma around whatever it is. The point is that your subconscious brain and your cell memory, it doesn't matter what your trauma was, because the body will react very much in exactly the same way. Your body will hold on to that energy of whatever you've been through. Your body will share the fear with you to keep you safe. And this is why when you go to share your voice in some situations, you find it challenging. Right? Maybe you get really nervous. Maybe before you go to raise your hand in a team meeting at work or to speak publicly. And as Brenda said in her lovely introduction, I believe all speaking is public speaking. Whenever you share a thought, idea, opinion, belief, feeling that you have inside you, inside your body or inside your brain, and you share that, whether that is with one person or 100,000, whether that is someone you know or someone who is a stranger, when you're sharing something that comes from inside you and you're externalizing it, you are making that public. So all speaking is potentially public speaking. And the fears that get associated with that are your subconscious remembering not just what's happened to you in the past around expressing yourself, around speaking up, not just the things you've been through that add to your imposter syndrome, your I have a massive I don't belong and I'm not good enough belief, right? From my childhood, like Sam was talking about. We all have our stuff. Some of you will have a perfectionist belief. Some of you will be the rebel. Some of you will have an I'm not worthy belief, right? Some of you will have there's a right way, and if it's not done this way, then oh, that freaks me out, right? So whatever it is that you have, it's there in you. And knowing what that is and knowing where that has come from is a massive first step towards freeing your voice, to allowing you to express yourself in those situations where you may currently hold yourself back, not put yourself forward, not be in the spotlight, to be safe. Because our subconscious brain is still very much our primeval brain. It's those instincts, the instincts from thousands and thousands of years ago, when we all lived in very small communities. And to stay safe in that small community or that tribe or wherever it, whatever it is back there, that part of our brain is like, no, we've got to be safe. We've got to belong. So then if we speak up, and say something that other people might not agree with, say something that someone else takes umbrage to, or that hasn't got proof, we then think, oh, well, I might not share that because then I might get kicked out of the community. I might get, and the really primeval part of your brain is I'll get kicked out of the tribe. And if I get kicked out of the tribe, then I can't kill a saber-toothed tiger on my own, or I can't survive winter on my own. So I won't speak up. I'll stay safe. The challenge with that, as other speakers today have spoken about, is when we don't share our voice, we stay hidden and we don't realize that other people have the same experiences as us. So when we start sharing our voices, that's when the power happens. So what is it for you that stops you from sharing your voice? Where is your voice vibration? And where does your voice sit? Is your voice a voice that other people want to hear? Do you engage? Do you open? Do you allow people to see you when you speak? It's not just about being heard. When we speak, people turn to look. And so it's allowing yourself to open, and your voice is a reflection of all those fears that are going on in you. But what I said at the beginning bears repeating. Your voice is a reflection of every experience or emotion you have ever had, imagined, or witnessed. You don't have to experience something for your subconscious brain and your cell memory to restrict your voice. You may have witnessed someone speaking at an event and they dropped their cards and everybody laughed nervously for them. But what you remember is they dropped their cards, they dropped their notes, and everybody laughed. So then you go to speak like, oh, but what if I forget what I say? What if I make a mistake? What if I drop my cards? What if my slides go wrong? Oh, but you don't even have to have witnessed that. You might just have heard a story about it, or in your imagination think, oh, what might happen if that were me? So all of this is going on, as well as everything Sam was talking about your subconscious beliefs and who you are and your experiences. So how can you shift this? How can you change that? By knowing what it is that's stopping you, and by playing physically with your voice. This is the tool I want to share with you today. There's a whole depth of the work that I do, which helps release, to recognize and release those experiences that you're holding on to in relation to your voice. There's a whole load of work on the chakras, the energy systems that Marlies was talking about earlier. Like we hold different stuff in different areas, and you can sound it out. I literally this morning, about half an hour before I was able to join you, got a message from someone who's just doing my online course. She bought it about 3 months ago. She said, "Oh my God, I just started it yesterday, and I've had PTSD from childhood abuse and da 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 da, and but I've got this thing with my jaw at the moment, and I haven't been able." And I sounded, and this frustration came out, and then I was able to close my jaw. It's like, yes, because you hadn't expressed your frustration. You were holding it in. So through sound, you don't have to speak about your challenges. You can release it through sound. So this is what I want to share with you today. And so here is a tool for you. It's a great warm-up tool for anyone who is a speaker, or if you're ever going to give a presentation. But it's also a way to start connecting physically, energetically, and emotionally to more of the whole of your voice. And this is the hum that I got you doing earlier. So again, this time I'd like to try again. Place your hand on your chest and just breathe, and then hum any note, any tone. And then to play and expand that hum, siren. And you'll notice there are places it doesn't want to go and places that it's open, and that's okay. But just playing with that siren will gently, you'll start noticing the blocks and you'll start opening it up. It's a physical vibration and it's a gentle process. And because it's inside you, you are the one in control of how deep you want it to go. You are the one who can play with your voice and explore so that you can start recognizing where there are blocks and releasing through the power of your sound to then feel more confident in yourself and the whole of who you are. So this is the tool that I bring to you to share to you today. And before I finish, Gertrude was, when we were speaking about me coming here, she said, "Oh, I want more creative things. I want some more different energies, not just talks." And so I said, "Well, would you like me to write a poem?" And so I have written a poem for this conference, and Gertrude has shared it and the other days, but obviously I am here today. So I would like to share this poem with you and for you. Because the theme of the event is I'm Possible. That is what I titled the poem. So here it is. It's impossible to believe. It's impossible to conceive. It's impossible to see when you're lost in the dark. It's impossible to know, it's impossible to show, it's impossible to grow when you think others must be right and you have learned to diminish your light. It's impossible to shine. It's impossible to be whoever or whatever you're really supposed to be if you can't see beyond the bounds of what others say is true. It's impossible to really be you. But there in the dark is the seed of the you that exists in full flight. All you need is a chink of light. And when the conditions are right, you just might feel like your world is crumbling down, falling apart, breaking open wide. But don't lose heart. When the cracks appear, the light is near. So let your chinks open wide. Step out of the night, let in the light, and you just might start to see that it is possible to believe. It is possible to conceive everything you have dreamed into being. So say it with me. I'm possible. It is possible to grow. It is possible to know. It is possible to show the way. So say it with me now. I'm possible. It is possible to shine, and as you start your climb, it is possible to light the way for others who are still stuck in their dark. So say it like you mean it. I'm possible. Say it like you think it could be true, like you believe there is something more in this world for you. Say it like you mean it, like there's something in your heart that needs to be heard, and that's you. I'm possible. Say it every day, and even when it's dark, you'll find that light again, because the source of that light lives in you. And when you know that to be true, you are possible. If people can fly in steel machines, if we can go to the moon, if diseases can be cured, and if you have survived all that you've endured, what else might be possible too? Thank you.